Magandang greetings everyone. I am Shane Dakanay and welcome to our presentation on product pricing. So today we will explore the concept of pricing and its significance in business. So price is often referred to by different names such as freight, fare, or tuition fee. Pero sa business, price talaga yung halaga na binabayaran ng customers para sa isang product or service. Most importantly, prices are dynamic and can change based on market conditions and customer demand. Pricing is distinct from price. It involves quantifying the value of a product to customers at a specific time. A crucial aspect of pricing is building value into the product and setting the price accordingly. Pricing methods are very important when making price indices, lalo na sa service industries kung saan madalas hindi malinaw yung mga definitions sa mga existing na literature. Yung mga methods na to is umaasa sa specific na klase ng price information para mas masubaybayan yung mga pagbabago sa presyo over time. The ideal pricing method naman is transaction pricing, kung saan ginagamit yung actual na presyo na binayaran or binabayaran mula sa mga repeated transactions sa iba't ibang survey periods. This method forms the foundation of price index theory and provides the most accurate results. It's important to distinguish pricing methods from mechanism. Mechanism ang nagde-define kung paano na-set ang price in between of actors, habang yung methods naman is yung mga tools na ginagamit ng statistician para gumawa ng indices based sa mga mechanisms na yon. Market-based pricing. So, market-based pricing includes strategies like penetration pricing, wherein nagsiset sila ng mababang presyo para sa new product para mabilis makuha yung market share. By entering at a competitive or lower price, businesses aim to establish their brand presence and grow customer loyalty. Market skimming, madalas ginagamit para sa mga innovative at new product na halos walang competition. Dito, nagsiset naman ng mataas na presyo sa simula para ma-maximize yung profit margins. The rationale is that early adopters are willing to pay a premium for the uniqueness or novelty of the product. Loss leader pricing naman, wherein companies use this tactic by selling certain products at a loss to attract customers who will then purchase other, more profitable items. Madalas tong makita sa mga retail stores like supermarkets. Psychological pricing naman, this technique involves setting prices at levels that have psychological impacts on customers. For example, mas nagmumukhang mura and mas attractive ang product sa mga consumer kapag ang presyo is 99 pesos imbes na 100 pesos. So sa price discrimination naman, this strategy involves charging different prices for the same product based on the segment of customer or timing. Examples include charging different prices at different times of the day or for different demographic groups. For the discount pricing naman, ito yung magbababa ka saglit ng presyo to incentivize sales, clear inventory, or react to seasonal fluctuations. This tactic is often used to drive short-term revenue boost. Next naman is yung competition-based pricing methods, which focus on aligning with competitors' rates or using destroyer pricing tactics to drive out competition. Sa approach na to, pwede ka magpresyo ng kapareho, mas mababa, or mas mataas kaysa sa presyo ng mga competitor mo, depende sa strategy at market positioning nila. Going rate pricing naman, this approach involves setting prices equal sa mga competitors or sa market leader. It ensures that the product remains competitive and maintains market share without alienating customers due to price differences. Destroyer pricing naman, a drastic approach where prices are set below average to drive competitors out of business. This strategy can be risky but aims to secure dominance by eliminating competition. Definition of pricing method. A pricing method specifically concerns the data used to track changes in prices over time. It does not involve subsequent steps like compiling indexes or deciding on coverage areas like taxes or imports. Cost-based pricing methods. Cost-based pricing adds a fixed amount to product costs without considering market conditions. Examples include absorption cost pricing, where product prices reflect their cost contributions, and target pricing, which adjusts cost to reach a predefined price target. Pricing a new product. Price is a crucial element in the marketing mix as it generates revenue. Pero it is also very flexible and can be adjusted quickly. Common pitfalls ng pricing includes being overly cost focused, setting prices without integrating them into marketing strategy, and not varying prices enough for different segments or occasions. There are five main categories of pricing methods. Una, cost-based pricing, then demand-based pricing, and then competition-oriented pricing, differential pricing, and goal-based pricing. Cost-based pricing. Cost-based pricing focuses on adding a margin to the cost price of a product known as markup pricing. Higher value products often have larger markups, while faster turnover products have smaller ones. Differential pricing naman involves charging different prices for the same product based on factors like market zones, customer class, or purchase volume. Volume-based differentiation is particularly common. Going rate pricing or follow the crowd. This method sets prices at the same level as competitors, commonly used in oligopolistic markets like car industry or airlines to prevent price wars. Pero it may lead to inefficiencies if leader firms are not operating efficiently. And then for the demand-based pricing methods naman, includes strategies like what the traffic can bear, which charges the maximum price customers are willing to pay. Skimming pricing, which starts with high initial prices for new products, and penetration pricing, which uses low prices to gain market share. And then next for the competition-oriented pricing methods, which includes premium pricing, meaning that pricing above the level adopted by competitors. Discount pricing means pricing below such level, and parity pricing means matching competitors' pricing.
Pricing objectives. Price represents Price represents the monetary value of a product's attribute that a consumer pays or is expected to pay, facilitating the transfer of ownership and utility. It plays a key role in creating a beneficial exchange between company and buyer. Pricing involves setting objectives, analyzing influence factor, determining product values, and developing pricing strategies. As a core element of the marketing mix, effective pricing significantly impacts a company's marketing success and overall performance. Some of the pricing objectives are pricing for a target return, next is pricing for market penetration, next is pricing for market skimming, next is discriminatory pricing, stabilizing pricing, competitor-oriented pricing, achieving market shares, and lastly, profit maximization pricing. Partial cost recovery is a pricing strategy where a company sells product at lower price, recovering only part of a cost because it has another because it has other income sources to cover the difference. This allows customers to get quality product at lower prices, but can frustrate competitors who can't afford to match those prices. Profit margin maximization. It focuses on achieving the highest possible profit unit sold, making it deal when sales volume is expected to be. Profit maximization is a strategy of achieving the highest possible return from a business's production. It involves analyzing production cost, market supply and demand, and pricing to attract the most customer while maximizing profit. Next is revenue maximization. Focuses on increasing sales revenue without considering profit. It's often used when launching a new product to build market shares and attract long-term customers. Quality leadership. Pricing is used to signal high product quality to customers. Quantity maximization aims to sell as many units as possible, often to benefit from economies from scale. Next is status quo. Keeps prices aligned with competitors to avoid price wars and maintain stable profit. Types of pricing objectives. Number one is market penetration. Market penetration objectives. In the early market entry phase, entrepreneurs may set low prices to quickly gain a large market shares. In highly price-sensitive markets, they might even sell without profit to attract customers. It is most appropriate when demand is expected to be highly elastic, that is, customers are price sensitive, and the quantity demand will increase significantly as the price declines. Large decreases in cost are expected as cumulative volume increases. The product is for the nature of something that can gain mass appeal fairly quickly. There is a threat in impending competition. Next is market scheme objectives. Market scheming objectives involve setting high prices to maximize short-term profits, especially in low competition markets. Scheming is most appropriate when demand is demand is expected to be relatively inelastic. That is, customers are not highly price sensitive. Next, large cost savings are not expected at high volumes, or it is difficult to predict the cost savings that would be achieved at high volume. Next, the company does not have resources to finance the large capital expenditures necessary for high volume production with initially low profit margins. Target rate return objectives. It involves setting prices to achieve a desired return on investment or sales. It is common monopolistic or protected market and is often used by wholesalers and retailers. Next is price stabilization objectives. Aims to maintain consistent price over time, avoiding sharp increase during high demand and preventing steep drops during downturns to support long-term business stability. Next is meet to follow competition objectives. Involve setting prices to match the their competition, often by following the pricing of a market leader to maintain competitiveness. Next is market share objectives. Focuses on maintaining or increasing a company's market presence. Large firms aim to return their shares, while the smaller ones may lower prices or grow. However, aggressive pricing can can risk can risk financial stability, especially for new business. Next is profit maximization objective. Aim to increase overall profits over time, not through excessive pricing of a single item. It should be balanced with customer satisfaction, supported by marketing efforts, and used cautiously to maintain a positive market image. Next is cash flow objective. Focuses on quickly recovering invested funds, often by offering lower prices for cash sales and higher prices for credit sales. This strategy works best when firm has a monopoly. Next is product line promotion objectives. Set Sets equal prices across related products to boost overall demand and promote less popular items, aiming to sell the entire product line without bias. And lastly, survival objectives. Focuses on ensuring the long-term existence of a business by using pricing strategies to maintain sales volume and manage financial challenges and economics fluctuation. Next reporter po.
Pricing strategy, ito ay tumutukoy sa paraan kung paano nagsiset ng presyo ang mga kumpanya para sa kanilang produkto or serbisyo. Kadalasan kasi maliit man or malaki ang kumpanya, ibinabase nila ang presyo sa production cost, labor, and advertising expenses. Tapos, dinadagdagan nila ng kaunting porsyento para kumita sila ng profit. Maraming iba't ibang klase ng pricing strategies tulad na lang ng penetration pricing, pricing scheming, discount pricing, product life cycle pricing, and competitive pricing. Penetration pricing strategy. Ito ay ginagamit ng isang maliit na kumpanya sa pamamagitan ng pagset ng mababang presyo para sa kanilang product or services. Ang goal nila dito ay makakuha ng malaking market share, ibig sabihin gusto nilang makukuha ng malaking porsyento ng sales kumpara sa kabuuang benta sa market. Ang pangunahing layunin kasi ng strategy na ito ay maka-attract ng maraming customers sa pamamagitan ng murang presyo at pagkatapos ay gumamit ng iba't ibang marketing strategy para mapanatili sila bilang loyal customers. For example, isang maliit na kumpanya na nagdi-distribute ng internet software ay maaaring magbenta ng kanilang produkto sa mababang presyo. Pagkatapos, magpadala sila ng email sa mga customers nila buwan-buwan para mag-offer ng iba pang software products. Talaga namang magsusumikap ang maliit na kumpanya na pagsilbihan ng maayos ang mga customers nila para makabuo ng brand loyalty. Price skimming. Ito ay isang strategy sa pagpipresyo kung saan itinakda ng isang kumpanya ang mataas na panimulang presyo ng produkto upang mabilis na mabawi ang gastos sa paggawa at pag-anunsyo nito. The main goal is to make a fast profit. According to the architect pricing strategy from netmba.com, companies often use this method when they don't have enough money to produce products in large quantities. They use the early revenue from high-price sales to fund more production and advertising. Next is pricing strategies included. The diagram. First is cost plus pricing. Ito ay pagpipresyo kung saan tinutukoy ang presyo batay sa kabuoang gasto sa paggawa ng isang produkto. Tapos dinadagdagan ito ng markup or tubo para kumita. Next is marginal cost pricing. Pagpipresyo batay sa halaga ng paggawa ng isang karagdagang unit ng produkto. Iniisip dito kung magkano ang dagdag na gastos para makagawa ng isa pa. Next is target ROI. Pagtatakda ng presyo na may layunin na makamit ang isang tiyak na porsyento ng balik or tubo sa puhunan, return on investment or ROI. Competition-oriented pricing. Pagpipresyo batay sa presyo ng mga kakompetensya sa market. Ina-adjust ang presyo para makasabay or makalaban sa iba pang competitors. Psychological pricing, paggamit ng mga techniques sa presyo upang maapektuhan ang pag-iisip at desisyon ng mga mamimili tulad na lamang ng paglalagay ng presyo na 99 pesos imbis na 100 para mas mukhang mura. Next is demand-based pricing, pagpipresyo batay sa antas ng demand ng mga mamimili at kung paano nila pinapahalagahan ang isang produkto. Next is experience curve pricing. Ito ay pag-a-adjust ng presyo habang tumatagal, batay sa karanasan at pagbuti ng paggawa ng produkto na kadalasan ay nagre-resulta sa pagbaba ng gastos sa paglipas ng panahon. In short, the purpose of this diagram is to visually represent the various strategy businesses can employ to set prices for their products or services, and to serve as a guide for businesses in choosing the most appropriate pricing strategy based on their objectives and market conditions. The product life cycle shows the journey a product takes from when it first launches to when it eventually fades out. It has 4 main stages: introduction, growth, maturity, decline. Now, during the growth stage, when a product becomes popular and sales are booming, companies often keep prices higher. Here's why. If their product is unique, different from others, or of higher quality, people are willing to pay more for it. If the product uses new technology that competitors don't have yet, it gives them an advantage, letting them charge premium charges. In short, in the growth phase, companies take advantage of strong demand and limited competition by keeping prices high to maximize profit while their product is still special. Competitive-based pricing means setting your prices based on what your competitors are charging, not just on what it costs you to make the product or how much you want to profit. Small companies often use this strategy when products are very similar to each other. This is called low product differentiation. Yung customers kasi wala silang pake, hindi nila nakikita yung difference between brands. Tinitingnan lang nila kung ano yung pinakamura na product. For example, when people buy basic items like paper plates or foam cups for a picnic, they usually don't care about the brand. Kasi mas gusto lang nila tingnan is yung cheapest price. If a small company charges more than competitors, customers will likely to buy the cheaper one instead. So, to stay competitive and not lose sales, a small company might have to lower its prices to match or beat the prices of others. Temporary discount prices, ito ay pagbibigay ng panandaliang discount para mapataas ang benta ng isang maliit na negosyo. Ilan sa paraan nito ay ang coupons, cent of sales, seasonal price reductions, and volume purchases. For example, isang maliit na gumagawa ng damit ay maaaring magbenta ng mas mura pagkatapos ng Pasko para maubos ang natitirang paninda o kaya mag-alok ng buy 2 get 1 free para hikayatin ng mga customer na bumili ng mas marami.
Good morning everyone, my name is Jenna Rose Pamesa and I'm one of the reporter today. My topic is all about different types of pricing strategy. So yung una is yung premium pricing strategy. Yung premium pricing strategy is ginagamit po siya ng mga businesses every time na may nilalunch or may nilalabas silang new product. And yung product na yon is merong distinct competitive advantage over similar products. So dito sa premium pricing strategy, mataas yung presyong binibigay nila sa product kumpara sa mga competitors nila. Ayan. Tapos, mas effective yung premium strategy or premium pricing strategy sa beginning of a product life cycle. Kasi nga 'di ba nagsisimula pa lang yung product, kalalabas lang niya, kaya mas effective siya kasi nag-iinganyo yung mga customer na bilhin or bumili ng product na yun kahit mahal siya. So, yung mga businesses na may kakaibang mga product, yung much better na gumamit ng premium pricing strategy kasi nga kakaiba siya, kaya talagang makakatch yung attention ng mga customers na bilhin yung product nila. And para tangkilikin pa rin ng mga customer yung products kahit na naka-premium pricing strategy siya or mas mahal siya kaysa sa ibang product is companies create effort like yung mga products nila, sinusure nila na talagang high quality and maganda yung packaging at marami pang iba. Talaga namang binibigyan nila ng satisfaction yung mga customers nila. Ayun. So, sa premium pricing strategy, magbibigay lang ako ng example. Tulad sa OJT ko, ang product kasi namin is skincare product. So, yung CEO namin, naglabas siya ng rejuvenating set for men na dati wala naman talagang naglalabas. Puro pambabae kasi yung lumalabas na rejuvenating set. And basta yung mga skincare product, puro pambabae dati ang lumalabas. Pero naisipan ng CEO namin na maglabas ng panglalaki na para sa lalaki talaga as in. Tapos, gumamit sila doon ng premium pricing strategy kasi nga alam nila na wala pa silang competitors. Kung meron man is yung mga pang skincare product lang na pambabae. Kasi meron din silang mga pambabaeng skincare product syempre bukod sa panglalaki. So, ayun, nagamitan nila yun ng premium pricing strategy na kung saan mas mataas yung presyong binigay nila sa product na yun kumpara sa competitors nila. And yung syempre yung sa Apple din. Tuwing naglalabas ng new phone si Apple, 'di ba makikita natin talaga namang mas mahal yung cellphone nila kumpara sa mga competitors nila na nagbebenta rin ng cellphone. So ganun. And also habang mas bago siya, mas mahal siya. So pag tumagal, doon bumababa yung presyo niya kasi nagkakaroon na ulit ng bagong product na nilalabas. Kaya lang bumababa ang presyo ng mga product dahil nga may mga bagong dumadating. Kaya every time na tuwing may bagong dumadating, ang ginagamit nilang pricing strategy is yung premium. So, next is yung penetration pricing strategy. Dito, yung mga businesses is nag-o-offer sila ng lower price sa mga goods or services nila kumpara sa mga competitors nila. So, ginagawa nila yun para ma-recognize or makilala ng mga customers yung product or services na meron sila. Sa una, syempre magiging loss or kawalan sa kanila yun or malulugi sila. Pero makakabuo sila dito ng brand recognition and pwede pang magkaroon sila ng loyal customer once na yung mga naka-purchase ng product nila is na-satisfy sa product or services nila. So, yung example scenario ko naman po dito sa penetration pricing strategy is yung Xiaomi. So, dati binibenta po siya at a lower price kumpara po sa Apple and Samsung. So, dahil nga affordable siya, marami nag-purchase sa kanya at nakilala yung brand niya. And nung kilala na po yung brand niya, doon na siya naglabas ng mga new model na cellphone na kung saan nakikipagsabayan niya yung presyo niya sa mga dating hindi niya kasabayan like yung Apple nga yung Samsung. So, next is yung economy pricing strategy. Sets prices at the bare minimum to make a small profit. So, dito minimize nila yung marketing and promotional costs. Dito, nagbebenta sila ng maramihang product at a lower price. So, pag si Walmart yung gumamit ng economy pricing strategy, pwede siyang makasurvive kasi diba, maraming nag-grocery sa Walmart. So, kapag marami siyang product na binenta at a lower price, kahit papano is kikita siya. Samantalang kapag mga small businesses ang gumamit ng strategy nito is pwedeng hindi siya makasurvive sa businesses or sa business. Next is yung price skimming strategy. Dito is tinataasan nila yung presyo nila sa pagpapakilala ng bagong product. Yung habang wala pa siya masyadong competitors. For example, neto is yung sa OJT ko, yung sinabi ko nga kanina. Yung CEO namin is naglabas siya ng rejuvenating set for men. Dati naman kasi hindi talaga uso yung rejuvenating set for men, puro pang babae lang. So habang hindi pa siya masyadong maraming competitors or wala pa siya masyadong competitors is mataas yung presyo niya. Tinataasan yung presyo niya kasi wala pa nga siyang kalaban. So, bababa lang yung presyo na once na may mga competitors na nagumaya ng ganong product na naggawa na rin sila ng mga rejuvenating set for men. Next is yung psychological pricing strategy. Kadalasan itong ginagamit ng mga businesses and mabisa talaga siya minsan kasi nadadala yung damdamin ng mga customer pag feeling nila is naka-sale yung product. Ang example nito guys is yung sa OJT ko ulit. Di ba product namin is skincare product. So for example, yung product namin is ang presyo niya is 200 pesos. Ngayon, gamit yung psychological pricing strategy, gagawin namin siyang 199 pesos. So, iisipin ngayon ng mga customer na naka-sale siya. So, parang mas maengganyo yung mga customer na bumili ng product kasi 199 na lang siya, di ba? So isipin nila malaki yung discount. Ganun. Kumbaga ba nadadala sila ng emotion nila para bilhin yung product na yun kasi nga naka-sale siya. Pero kung 200 yan, di ba? Hindi naman bibili agad-agad si customer. So ayan, ganun yung psychological pricing strategy. Kumbaga ba logic, ganun. So, next is yung bundle pricing strategy. So, dito yung mga businesses is ginagamit nila yung strategy na to para yung mga item na hindi masyadong mabenta sa kanila is mabenta. So, for example, neto yung sa OGT ulit. Meron kami mga skincare product na pang babae like serum, rejuvenating set, pep wash, UA Fix na Deo spray. So, pwede namin, ang gawin namin is, kung yung pep wash namin is hindi siya masyadong pinapansin ng mga customer. So, isasama namin siya sa bundle. Eh, di ba mabenta yung UA Fix Deo spray namin. So, pwede namin gawin na yung pep wash feminine care, yung Fix Deo spray, and ang serum na pang girls na mabenta din is silang tatlo, gagawin namin silang bundle. So, yung presyo for example is, yung bawat isa is to 200, pwede siyang gawin 550, yung tatlo na yun, 550. For example lang naman po, 550 yung tatlo na yun. So, maraming customer yung maenggano na bili na, sa halagang 550 pesos is tatlong product na yung makukuha ko. So, ganun yung bundle pricing strategy. Kumbaga ba, na-engganyo yung mga customer na bilhin yung bundle na yun kasi ang nasa isip nila, sa halagang ganun is marami na silang product na makukuha. Next is yung price setting. It's a very critical area in marketing decision of the company. So, critical area siya kasi yung paglalagay natin ng price sa mga product natin or services, nakasalalay dyan yung magiging kita ng company natin. Nakasalalay dyan kung makakasurvive ba ang company natin. So, kaya siya sinabing critical kasi nga, ayun, parang sa price tayo kikita. If ever na mababa yung binigay natin na price, pwede tayong malugay and hindi makasurvive yung company natin or yung business natin. And kapag higher price naman, dapat pinag-iisipan din siya kung pa-purchase pa rin ba siya ng mga customer dahil sa presyo niya. So, dapat talaga pinag-iisipan yung paglalagay ng presyo sa mga product and services natin. Kaya, ano siya, isa rin sa pinakamahirap na part ng business ang paglalagay ng presyo sa product natin. Next is yung loss leader. Loss leader refers to product having low price placed on them in an attempt to lure customer to the businesses and to make further purchase. So dito, yung example nito is yung sa grocery. For example, gumamit sila ng loss leader like bread. So, yung bread binibenta nila at a lower price. So, if ever na yung mga customer, nabalitaan nila syempre na mura yung tinapay dun sa grocery na yon, possible is pumunta yung mga customer sa grocery na yon. And kapag nag-purchase sila ng bread, syempre maengganyo na rin sila mag-purchase ng another product or mga product na makikita nila sa groceries na yon. And possible, ma-prevent yung pagbili ng mga customer sa another store. So, possible doon na sila bumili sa grocery na yon kung saan bibili sila ng bread na naka-lower price. So, dito sa loss leader, dapat yung loss, yung nalugi doon sa bread, dapat makuha niya sa mga other product na or mabawi niya sa mga other product na binili ng customer sa grocery na yun or sa store na yun. Ganun siya.
Good day, I'm Kanadore, and now let's talk about multiple pricing. Encourages higher purchase quantities by offering a lower per unit price for larger quantities. These strategies motivate customers to buy more than they initially intended. In short, tinutulungan mo yung mga customers mo na makapag-isip o makapamili ng pinaka-best na deal para sa kanila. Like for example, bumili ka ng melon na halagang 84 pesos and 50 cents. And pag times 2 mo yon is equal to 169 pesos. And then ngayon, in-offer mo sa kanila na imbis 169 pesos, nag-offer ka ngayon ng 150 pesos na lang. So nakamura sila ng 19 pesos sa pagbili ng melon dahil sa offer mo. And ang benefits naman sa'yo is mag-i-increase ka ng sales volume and yung large quantity ng inventory mo is mapapataas mo. Next is optional product pricing. Sells a core product at a base price with additional features or service available at extra cost. Allow customers to customize their purchase based on their specific needs and budget. In short, tinutulungan mo yung mga customers mo na makabili or makapili ng mga add-ons na gusto nilang idagdag para sa kanilang pamimili. For example, a car manufacturer offers a base model with optional upgrades like sunroof, premium sound system, or navigation. Tinutulungan mo sila na mapaganda yung kanilang product na ina-offer mo sa kanila with a budget-friendly price. And ang magiging benefits naman ito sa'yo is makakuha ka ng maraming customers and mag-i-increase yung profitability mo through ads on sales. Next, let's talk about differential pricing. Charges varying price for the same product or services based on factors like customer, group, time, location, or product version. Aims to maximize revenue by capturing the different level of willingness to pay across the various market segments. Like for example, fast food chain na nag-offer ka ng student or senior discounts. Yan. And ang magiging benefits naman ito sa'yo is ma-optimize mo yung revenue mo by leveraging different market conditions and market sensitivities.
Good day everyone. Today, I'll be reporting about the key features of price discrimination laws. Ang price discrimination law ay usually applicable sa mga manufacturers. Hindi po siya gaano ka-applicable sa service providers. Para naman sa justification, pinapayagan ang price differences kung meron naman valid reason tulad ng pagkakaiba sa production or distribution cost. Ibig sabihin, basta justified yung cost difference, hindi siya automatic na illegal. Take note, ang price discrimination ay nagiging illegal lang kung ang purpose talaga ay sirain o tanggalin ang kompetisyon sa market. Kasama rin dito ang konsepto ng predatory pricing. Hindi po pinapayagan na magpapa ng sobra sa cost ang presyo para lang mapatalisik ang competitors. Tapos, pag nawala na ang competition, saka naman tataasan ulit ang presyo. Pagdating naman sa pag-compute ng cost, usually tinitignan ng korte ang short run, marginal cost, at ang average variable cost. Ibig sabihin, yung immediate at flexible na gastos ng kumpanya. Isa pa pong importanteng topic ay ang dumping. Nangyayari ito kapag foreign company na nagbebenta ng produkto sa US ng mas mababa pa kaysa sa presyo nila sa sariling bansa na nagiging dahilan ng paghina ng lokal sa US industries. Kapag napatunayan, pwedeng mag-impose ang US government ng anti-dumping duties. Meron din tayong tinatawag na collusive pricing. Ito naman ay kapag may sabwatan ang mga kumpanya para itaas ang presyo ng hindi nga ayon sa free competition. At panghuli, kahit bawal ang unfair pricing practices. Natural lang din po sa mga kumpanya magbago ng presyo dahil sa ibang factors tulad ng businesses needs, product improvements, sales slowdown, competitive pressure, economic shifts, government policies changes, overdemand at cost inflation. Pa natin ang iba't ibang uri ng price discrimination. Una na po dito ang first degree price discrimination. Dito, ang seller ay nagcha-charge ng maximum price na kayang bayaran ng bawat customer para sa bawat unit ng produkto. Ibig sabihin, kukuha ng seller ang buong consumer surplus kaya siya magmamaximize ng profit. Pero bihira itong mangyari sa totoong buhay kasi kailangan ng seller na malaman ang exact demand ng bawat customer, which is very hard to do. Pangalawa naman ay ang second degree price discrimination. Dito, iba-iba ang presyo depende sa dami ng binibili. Halimbawa, mas mahaba ang presyo per unit kapag bulk ang binibili, gaya ng mga discounts sa wholesale or sa third pricing sa metered service, tulad ng kuryente, tubig at kahit printing services. At ang panghuli ay third degree price discrimination. Dito, ang presyo ay nag-iiba depende sa grupo o market segment ng customers, base sa kanilang price sensitivity. Halimbawa, ang electric companies na-charge ng mas mataas na rates sa mga businesses kumpara sa household. Bakit? Kaya businesses usually have less flexibility para mabawasan ang paggagamit ng kuryente kumpara sa mga bahay. Ngayon naman, tatalakayin natin ang tungkol sa promotional pricing na tinatawag din natin price promotion o penetration pricing. Ang promotional pricing ay isang strategy kung saan temporarily or panandalian lang na binababa ang presyo ng produkto para makahatak ng customers, mag-build ng loyalty at mag-boost ng future revenue. Ang purpose ng strategy na ito, una, para makakuha ng atensyon para sa produkto, brand, or retailer. Pangalawa, para hikayatin ang repeat businesses at long-term customer loyalty. At syempre, para manatiling competitive sa market. Sino ba ang mga kadalasang gumagamit nito? Manufacturers, para i-highlight ang mga specific products or mag-launch ng bagong brand. Retailers, para maka-attract ng shoppers sa store nila, kahit anong brand pa ang hanap ng mga customer. Pagdating naman sa method, una na dito, kailangan i-identify kung anong product or brand ang kailangan ng extra atensyon. Tapos, magkakalculate ng discount na financially viable or kayang i-absorb ng company. Mag-set ng promotional period, usually ilang araw hanggang isang buwan. At syempre, i-promote ang discounts. sa pamamagitan ng ads at marketing campaigns. Pero tandaan natin, sa sustainability side, hindi long-term strategy ang promotional. Expected na ang may konting losses sa promo period pero ang goal ay mabawi ito sa pamamagitan ng mga loyal customer in the future. Sa frequency naman, dapat dito ay gamitin ng maingat ang promos. Kasi kung masyadong madalas magpa-promo, baka masanay ang customers sa murang presyo at mababa na ang produkto. At syempre, may mga flaws rin ang promotional pricing. Mismatch with consumer needs. Kahit naka-sale, kung hindi kailangan ng customer ang produkto, hindi rin sila bibili. Cost versus quality. May ibang customer na mas pinaghahalagahan ang quality kaysa sa presyo. Bad market, prediction. Kung hindi tama ang timing o planning ng promo, maaaring mabigo ang campaign at ma-disappoint ang mga customers. Naman na pag-uusapan natin ay tungkol sa new product pricing strategy. Kapag naglo-launch ng bagong produkto, may dalawang pangunahing strategy ang mga kumpanya para mag-set ng base price. Meron ditong price skimming at penetration pricing. Unahin na din natin dito ang price skimming. Sa strategy na ito, ang kumpanya ay nagcha-charge ng pinakamataas na presyo na willing bayaran ng mga early and eager customers. Ginagamit ito kapag inelastic and demand, ibig sabihin, kahit mataas ang presyo, willing pa rin bumili ang customer dahil wala silang alternative. Ang goal dito ay mapabilis na mabawi ang mga gastos sa research and development. Benefits ng price skimming. Nakakabuo agad quick cash flow, nagbibigay ng flexibility habang nasa early stage pa ang produkto. Pero may risk din. Kapag mataas ang presyo, posibleng maka-attract ng competitors na gustong makihati sa kita. Limited lang ang market reach kasi high-paying customer lang ang nakakabili. Ngayon naman sa penetration pricing, dito ang kumpanya ay magseset ng mababang presyo para mabilis makakuha ng malaking market share. Ginagamit ito kapag elastic ang demand, ibig sabihin price sensitivity ang customer. Madalas itong ginagamit kung inaasahan na magiging mabigat ang competition. Benefits ng penetration pricing. Naiiwasan ang pagpasok ng bagong competitors. Bumababa ang production cost dahil sa high volume ng sales. Lumalakas ang market position ng kumpanya. Risk naman ng penetration pricing. Mahirap itaas ang presyo pag nasanay na ang mga customers sa mababang presyo. Mababa ang profit per unit sa umpisa. May mga kumpanya rin na gumagamit ng combination strategy. Nagsisimula sila sa price skimming para maka-generate ng quick profit. Tapos, ililipat sila sa penetration pricing para palawakin ang customer base at hangaran ang pagpasok ng bagong competitors.
Next is psychological pricing. It's effective when consumers' purchasing decisions are driven more by emotions than by logic, such as love, reputation, and self-image. Sometimes, the price becomes a symbol of a product's quality. With the rise of technology, it has become difficult to differentiate products based on functionality. So many companies rely on the emotional or lifestyle aspect of their products. This strategy is not suitable for industrial products, but it is ideal for luxury items such as perfume, jewelry, high-end cars, wines, and branded clothing. Marketers set high prices to project an exclusive and high-quality image. Ayon kina John Goss at Stephen McDaniel, naniniwala daw ang mga mamimili na kapag mas mataas ang presyo, mas mataas din ang kalidad. Ginamit ng company na Acer at Sony ang prestige pricing para sa espesyal nilang products tulad ng Ferrari at Vaio lifestyle na laptops. Para magtagumpay ang psychological pricing, kailangan palakasin daw yung image ng brand sa pamamagitan ng matinding promotion at pagpapalaganap ng kalidad at pagiging exclusive ng produkto. Natuklasan din ni na Paul Faris at David Ravstein na malaki ang epekto ng perceived quality at advertising sa pananaw ng mga mamimili sa presyo ng isang produkto. For the first bullet, brands that spend heavily on advertising, even if their product quality was just average, were able to successfully charge higher prices compared to brands that were not well known. Second bullet, brands that had both strong advertising and high products quality could charge the high prices in the market. Meanwhile, brands with low advertising budgets and poor quality had to settle for the lowest prices. Also, the link between strong advertising and high quality became even more important for market leaders during the later stages of a product's life cycle. Ibig sabihin, habang tumatagal ang produkto, ang perception ng kalidad at lakas ng advertising ang tumutulong sa mga nangungunang brand na mapanatili ang mataas nilang presyo. Unethical pricing practices in marketing. First is pricing lack of clarity in pricing. Ito yung hindi malinaw ang pagpapaliwanag kung magkano talaga ang presyo ng isang product or serbisyo. Minsan may hidden charges pa na hindi agad sinasabi sa customers. Next is dumping. Ito ay pagbebenta ng product na sobrang baba o lugi ang presyo para ma-dominate ang market at patayin ang competition. Tapos kapag wala ng kalaban, biglang tataas ang presyo. Next is pricing fixing cartels. Ito ay kapag ang mga kumpanyang magkakalaban dapat ay nagkakasunduan na itakda ang presyo para makontrol ang market, imbis na maglaban-laban sila ng patas. Next is encouraging people to claim prices when they phone premium rate numbers. Pinapaniwala ang mga tao na nanalo sila ng price pero kailangan munang tumawag sa mahal na hotline number. Kaya nauuwi sa gastos ang tao kaysa sa pagkapanalo. Next is bait and switch. Ina-attract muna ang mga customer gamit ang magandang offer, which is the bait. Pero pagdating nila sa store or kausap na nila ang seller, pinipilit silang bumili ng mas mahal pa na product, which is the switch. High pressure selling, especially in relation to groups such as the elderly. Masyadong agresibo ngayon yung pagbebenta na halos pinipilit yung mga tao, especially yung mga matatanda na bumili, kahit hindi naman nila kailangan or ayaw nila. Next is counterfeit goods and brand piracy. Pagbebenta ng peke ng produkto na ginagaya ang kilalang brand para lokohin ng mga customers na genuine yung binibili nila. Next is copying the styles of packaging in an attempt to mislead consumers. Gumagaya ng packaging design sa isang sikat na product para malito ang customers at mapabili sila ng ibang brand na akala nila ay yun yung original. Deceptive advertising. Ito yung patalastas na nanliling lang, nagpapakita o nagsasabi ng impormasyon na hindi totoo or sobrang exaggerated para lang maengganyo ang mga tao na bumili. Irresponsible issue of credit cards and irresponsible raising of credit limits. Ito ay pagbibigay ng credit card sa mga taong hindi naman talaga kayang magbayad ng maayos o kaya bigla-biglang ina-approve ang mas mataas na credit limit nang hindi tinitingnan kung kaya ba ng customers. Next is unethical practices in market research and competitor intelligence. Ito yung pandaraya o hindi tamang paraan ng pagkolekta ng mga impormasyon tungkol sa market o sa mga competitor. For example, pagsisinungaling para makakuha ng sikreto ng competitor. Next is selling goods abroad which are banned at home. Ito yung pagbebenta ng mga produkto sa ibang bansa kahit na alam nilang ipinagbabawal ito sa sariling bansa. Next is omitting to provide information on side effects. Hindi pagsasabi ng mga posibleng masamang epekto ng isang produkto. Unsafe products, ito yung pagbebenta ng mga produktong delikado sa kalusugan or kaligtasan ng customers. Next is built-in obsolescence, sinasadyang paggawa ng produkto na madaling masira or maluma para mapilitang bumili ulit yung mga customers. Next is wasteful and unnecessary packaging, ito yung paggamit ng sobra o hindi kailangang packaging na nakakadagdag lang sa basura. Next is deception on size and content. Ito yung mga panlilin lang sa laki or dami ng isang produkto. Akala mo marami pero konti pala. Inaccurate and incomplete testing of products, hindi tamang pagsubok sa produkto bago ito ibenta, kaya hindi masisigurado or nasisigurado ang kaligtasan or kalidad nito. Next is treatment of animals in product testing, pang-aabuso sa mga hayop habang ginagamit sila sa pagsusuri ng mga products. Next is use of child labor and forced labor production in sweatshops. Ito yung paggamit ng mga bata at sa pilitang paggawa ng mga pagawaan. Violations of the basic rights of workers, hindi paggalang sa karapatan ng mga manggagawa tulad ng tamang sahod at oras ng trabaho. Next is ignoring health, safety, and environmental standards. Ito yung pagwawalang bahala sa kaligtasan ng mga manggagawa at sa proteksyon ng kalikasan. Next is ethical producer responsibility. Dapat siguraduhin ng isang ethical company na pati ang mga supplier nila ay sumusunod sa tamang gawain, hindi lang sila mismo. Price competition. In free market, companies often compete through pricing by adjusting their own prices or reacting to competitors. Yung price competition kasi common na siya sa mga consumers and can't easily see differences between products. So, yung companies, ginagamit nila yung price para mag-stand out yung company nila. To succeed, a company must be a low-cost producer since lower production costs mean higher profits even at competitive prices. Firms using these strategies usually sell standardized products and are skilled or willing to frequently change prices. However, constant price wars can weaken companies over time. In India, brands like Coke and Pepsi often lower prices to compete, but their quick reactions to each other's moves usually cancel out any real advantage.
Non-price competition ay tungkol sa pag-differentiate ng isang product gamit ang features, quality, service, packaging at promotion, hindi sa pamamagitan ng pagmura ng presyo. Itong strategy na to ay nagdadagdag ng value at nakaka-attract ng customers na hindi lang presyo ang tinitignan. Para maging successful, dapat ma-recognize at ma-appreciate ng customers yung mga differences na yun. Effective ito lalo na sa mga products na hindi basta-basta considered bilang commodities. Pero syempre, kailangan pa rin nilang i-consider yung presyo ng mga competitors. For example, a toothbrush brand like Colgate may charge more than a generic brand by offering unique features like flexible or gum protection. Shock of absurd convenience customers, it works the extra cost. Decisions refers to how a business sets the price for its products or services. These decisions are crucial because they directly affect a company's profit. To earn the most income, a company keeps producing and selling as long as the money earned from each extra unit or yung revenue is more than what it costs to make it. This way, the company ensures every sale adds to its profits. Ang price decision naman ay naapektuhan ng maraming internal and external factors, kaya nagiging komplikado at puno ng uncertainty. Ang key influences dito ay customers, competitors, and cost. Ang competitors ay nakaka-apekto sa pricing sa pamamagitan ng demand. Kapag masyadong mataas ng presyo, pwedeng i-reject ng market ang product. Ang competitors naman is nakaka-apekto sa presyo dahil sa kanilang mga actions. Ang mga substitute products at market dynamics tulad ng currency fluctuations pwedeng mag-push sa companies na i-adjust ang price nila. Perfect competition. Walang flexibility. Kailangan sumunod sa market price ang sellers. Monopolistic competition. May konting freedom mag-set ng price dahil sa product differentiation. Oligopoly. Kaunti lang yung sellers pero bawat price change ay closely monitored at mabilis gayahin ng competitors. Monopoly. May maximum freedom mag-set ng price maliban na lang kung may regulation. The last one is yung cost. Is nakaka-apekto sa supply. Kapag mababa ang cost compare sa presyo is mas marami ang kayang isupply ng company at potentially mas malaki ang magiging profit. Ang overall is lahat ng internal and external factors ay natutulungan para ma-determine ang final pricing decisions.